back to Undisputed. The Herd is coming up next here on FS1. So let's head over to Colin. What you got on the show for us today?
Every other quarterback in the league does what Carson Wentz does last night. He's a hero. Carson Wentz, though, I didn't play good until the very end. I'll support him again. I'm a Carson Wentz fan. Huge fan. That's next.
Thanks, Colin. Well, according to Fox Bet, Zeke, Andy Dalton, and the Cowboys are just a pick-em when they travel to take on Washington. Dallas is coming off a brutal loss on Monday night where none of the offense clicked. So, Shannon, will Sunday be more of a Zeke game or more of an Andy Dalton game?
It should be a Zeke game because you want to slow that pass rush down, Skip. You want them to think about something other than getting hits on your quarterback. So you need them to pause like, man, if I run up the field, they might hand this ball to Zeke, and next thing you know, he's going to be in our secondary. So this really needs to be a Zeke game, but Zeke needs to make sure he make it a Zeke game by holding on to the football and doing the things that we know Zeke Elliott can do, what things he's done since he's been in the league, this year notwithstanding. So this game really should be a Zeke game. Now, if it turns into an Andy Dalton game, it's not going to go well for you. So I really hope it does become an Andy Dalton game because that means Young and Allen and all those big guys, they're going to be getting after your guy.
So I thought Arizona was going to be a Zeke game last Monday night, and it did turn into a Zeke game for all the wrong reasons. 2 early fumbles, 2 short field drives for Kyler and company, ball game.
Okay.
I just don't trust him the way I used to trust him. I trust him catching it and running with it more than I do running with it.
Just handing it to him and running with it.
So in the end, I believe if the Dallas Cowboys are going to survive against their former arch rival on the road, it's going to have to be an Andy Dalton game. Okay. And I still say what I did like about Andy Dalton on Monday night was Vance Joseph threw the house at him. He had people all over him, draped on him, grabbing at him, pulling him, scratching him, clawing him. And I thought he escaped very well for a guy who has just average mobility.
But the defensive front from Arizona is nothing like Washington. When you go Kerrigan, first-round pick, you go Chase Young, you go Allen, you go the other guy from Alabama, you got Sweat.
And by the way, Zach Martin is now officially ruled OUT out.
Yeah, you done.
He's out.
Oh, Jonathan Allen about to have 3 sacks.
So I got one starter left who was the weakest link in what used to be a top 5 offensive line, Connor Williams, who I don't trust at all. So how are you going to block anybody? Zeke's going to have to do some blocking, more blocking than running, because in the end, what is the strength of my football team? It's the playmakers. I have 3 playmakers at wideout. I have 2 more. You want to talk about depth at wideout? Every time I look up Cedric Wilson, they're trying to get him in space and get him loose for making a play.
True.
Noah Brown makes a lot of big third down catches for this team. So they are loaded at wideout. They're going to have to get the ball out quickly, but I believe Andy Dalton has been in enough big games and enough road games. He's been there and done all this before. He's made 3 Pro Bowls. I believe they'll have a scheme in place where they will get the ball quickly in the hands of playmakers. And if they're going to do what I think they can do and win this game 27-24, they need to get the ball from Andy Dalton's hand to playmakers. And that includes swing passes, quick passes, screen passes to Zeke.
Well, Skip, if you can run the football, what Zeke also allows you to do is play action. So now we can hold those linebackers in, and you could hit the CD Lambs in those seams. You can hit the Amari Coopers down in behind those guys, and they'd be scot-free. So that's what you really need, Skip. And you heard what Pat Peterson said for the Cardinals last week. We want the ball in Andy Dalton's hand. I can assure you, every defensive coordinator wants the ball in Andy Dalton's hand.
And I can assure you that I believe that Andy Dalton is better than Carson Wentz.
No, stop it.
We had Antonio Cromartie yesterday on the show, and he just blurted out, he's better than Carson Wentz.
I told you we got the best redhead in the division. We do. It's not even close.
Now you're gloating off last night when he mostly stunk it up until the end. No, he mostly
did nothing. All I know is your guy stunk it up for the whole night, and that's why you lost. Because you was bragging and gloating about 5 plays. And now look at you when he had to play a whole game. Made a mess of himself.
72 yards and 5 plays to beat the Giants.
Yeah.
So he did it just like Carson Wentz
And think about that. And he only had 200 yards in the whole game. So he had 72 yards in 5 plays and then 200 yards in the whole game.
You mean against the Giants?
Against Arizona.
Oh, against Arizona.
Yeah.
Well, against the Giants, he had 111 yards and limited duty.
Exactly.
Okay. So he is capable of doing that. My defense is capable of making a stand. And I realize they've rejected the teaching and coaching and strategizing of Mike Nolan.
Why are you so sure they can make a stand?
Because they will have on the field at any given moment on Sunday at Washington 7 former Pro Bowlers.
They had 6 on the field.
7 former Pro Bowlers.
They had 6 against who they had 6 on? Against the Giants, they gave up 34. Had 6 on the field against Seattle. They had 6 on the field against, last week against Arizona. And then what? So why are you so sure about this one?
Sean Lee will be back. He'll be more of a leader of the defense, a tone setter for the defense. And you saw Wolf Hunter is back. He didn't play much on Monday night, but he'll play more. Jalen Smith is starting to come back into his own.
So in other words, you have little to no respect for the Washington football team. That's what you're telling me.
Well, Kyle Allen, I don't have huge
he's one guy. It's a team.
Yep.
So Skip Bayless, the Dallas Cowboys #1 fan, has little to no respect. Are you going to own that right now?
I own that.
Okay.
But I've never had, I grew up having no respect for them.
They got something for you.
And remember, we got Randy Gregory back who can fly off the edge. So we got people who can rush the passer. We got D. Law. We got Aldon Smith. I think we're good to go.
You're going
all right,
home.
that's all we have for you guys today. Thank you for hanging out this morning. We'll be back Monday at 9:30 Eastern, but don't go anywhere because we have the Herd coming up right now.